Camera's stuck. Okay, camera doesn't seem to be working. There we go. Hey. Alright, that seems better. So let's actually finish Shadowheart, shall we? We left off with us about to go into a teleport maze, I think. All the best final dungeons have teleport mazes. Ugh. Alright. Macam. Hey, Amanda. Alright, so... This is a teleport maze. This is going to take some focus. But we'll see. Maybe it's not a teleport maze and it's just like a series of rooms. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Better than I was on Sunday. That's good. Yeah, there it is. Alright. So if this is a teleport maze. Looks like there's two pathways. What do you mean all of a sudden? We were in a weird place to begin with. Yay! They straight up said maze. Yep, you can't just go the other way. Ugh. This has been a lot of teleports in a very short space of time to numerous different areas. And it's probably going to keep going that way. There you do, Amanda. It'll probably take a while. I can't believe Clemetta didn't even kill it. No wonder Clemetta didn't kill it, god damn. That's a lot of health. Alright. Right. Okay, so entering the other side of warps that we already know about does take us to different locations. Alright. So that is the active goal. Hey, how you doing, Isaac? Is today Thanksgiving? Well, I guess we're not doing physical here. This creature is not phased. No, it seems like they are immune to physical damage. Thankfully, I have some good magic damage to hit him with. It frustrates me that they're still alive. Paralysis. Alright. Do you want to play that way? Hit them again. Hit them again. Seriously. Didn't have to come to this, you could have died easier.
Mother, give me power!
Alright. This isn't anywhere. There we go. Right, so we've accomplished nothing. You frustrate me with your survival.
Mother, give me power!
How you doing, Isa? Well, that wasn't impressive.
Now I am suspicious.
How you doing, Clem? Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Get ready to work soon, try and enjoy what older you get, yeah. That's fair. Always feels like you're in a job you don't want to be if it's going to have you working during the holidays when so many other people get to be off. Yeah. And the only guaranteed day off I get is Christmas. Like, specifically just the day. And you look at your job and think, like, want to get a job that let me have these days off. I wouldn't count it as part of my paid time off. Well, that's because we're all expendable, Isa. Logically speaking, continuing to push us all to our breaking point without allowing any time for rest or recuperation beyond what they are minimally required to will inevitably burn us out, potentially leading to a physical or psychological breakdown. But it doesn't matter to corporations because we are ultimately replaceable. in an environment where overpopulation is a genuine concern, we as individuals do not matter. I think I had a lot of health. We're not doing this again. What we will do is recover, though. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping in and hanging out in the free time that you have, though, Isa. There we go. As we try and work our way through this teleport maze. There we go. Excellent. It's always good to see you, Isa. I don't know what that is, but it sounds violent. There it is. Based on the listing here, I assume it's weaker than this sword. Doesn't really matter anyway, I'm not using that character. Oh yeah, it's always good to see you, Isa. I saw you'd started Final Fantasy 1 back up again a little while back. How's that going for you? Okay. There we go. Progress. This feels like the path I'm supposed to take. Yeah, that's probably the way I'm supposed to go. Ooh, FF2. Which version are you doing? You know what? That's actually a really good monster design. Ah. I didn't buy the Pixel Remaster for 2. I only bought it for 3, 5, and 6. Because I think the arguably definitive versions of 1, 2, and 4 are probably on PSP. But not everybody has access to playing the PSP versions, so... I wonder if they fixed the Blood Sword in the Pixel Remaster, because the Blood Sword was broken in like every previous version of FF2. Oh, glad you don't have the systems. What'd you buy it for?
Mother, give me power!
You don't know what you're doing for FF2 and the whole collection is $50. I mean, to be fair, my own issues with 2 and 4 aside, it's 6, at the very least, 6 solid games. And you'd pay more than that for one modern game. So, like, if you've never played any of the others either, then you are probably getting a decent deal. I did the Pixel remaster of 6 earlier this year. But I got 3, 5, and 6 for PC, and then modded them. That's a lot of damage. Modded them to have various things. Yeah, you imagine level 15 was on file. Game Boy Advance. I feel like I heard they might have rebalanced it on the Pixel remaster, I'm not sure. I might be thinking of something else. But maybe. Yeah, we modded the Pixel remasters of 3, 5, and 6. For various reasons, like a more traditional font, which looks quite nice, some new sprites. I think we've got some recoloring in FF6, it looked really nice. Took the sprites from Final Fantasy Record Keeper, which are nice sprites. But just in terms of general quality of life, the Pixel Remaster version of 6 was definitely, like, the best one to play. Like, absolutely the best version of 6 to play, to just play 6. I imagine the same is probably true of the others. I can't think why it wouldn't be. FF3. The Pixel Remaster is based off the Famicom original, so it doesn't have the individual characters as such. Because the DS version of FF3 is a full remake, and they did stuff like made the 4 main characters into characters. Which is not a thing in the original. They're all Onion Knights, and they're all there from the beginning, and they don't have character arcs or growth or anything. They'll occasionally talk amongst each other, but it's not a huge thing. That version, yeah, the original is just Onion Knights, yeah. That version is actually really good if you want a... What would be the best way to describe it? Like, I really like FF1 because of its simplicity and a lot of the charm in the classes you can pick at the start and such. And the focus on just straight gameplay with minimal storytelling. In an RPG system that feels good. FF3 is that, but expanded. It's bigger, the job system allows you to change more often and do such. The biggest problem with it is in regards to... There's a few bosses that require specific job lineups, which feels more restrictive than you generally want. And it has some of the most frustrating dungeons in the series. There's one dungeon where you go through the entire dungeon in mini form, which means your physical attacks will only do 1 point of damage, so the entire dungeon has to be a magic run. Which is a really cool idea, but you have to be prepared for that. But like, even taking that stuff into account, like, OG version of FF3 is a lot of fun. Yeah, Firion is the main character of FF2. Yeah, go for it. I always appreciate you putting the I appreciate you including me in your playthroughs. Like when you did the FF1 playthrough and you had me as the fighter. I appreciate that, thank you so much. And being your leader for FF2 will be fun. I appreciate it. Thank you, Isa. Executing the pilgrims that crossed an entire ocean to eat turkey with a bunch of natives that they would soon genocide. I take no credit for the voyage of the Mayflower. Like including your friends. I appreciate you consider me a friend, Icy. It's really cool. Yeah, I hope you genuinely enjoy FF2. It's rough, but there's good ideas there, which is why, if you've ever heard of the Saga games that Square does, which are very niche, but they've become more known in recent years, with Square making them more available on modern systems, with stuff like the Collection of Saga, and the remakes of Romancing Saga 2 and 3, the modern port of Romancing Saga Minstrel Song, which was the remake on PS2, the remaster of Saga Frontier. The Saga series is a spin-off in the sense of they follow the same kind of stat progression system. Square liked the idea enough, they made a series for that. And Saga is a rough series to get into, but it is some of the most interesting RPG design that Square has ever done. So if you like FF2, I recommend looking into the Saga series. How you doing, Flame? Yeah, the way that entire growth system works, it's something Square adapted and expanded with Saga. The Saga series began with the Final Fantasy Legend games on Game Boy. Known as Saga in Japan, the 3 games on Game Boy called Final Fantasy Legend 1, 2, and 3. And then the West didn't get another Saga game until Saga Frontier on the PlayStation, which was just called Saga Frontier. And then it was Saga Frontier 2. Saga Frontier is on modern systems, they remastered it. So you can pick that up pretty easily. Saga Scarlet Grace is the most recent release, that's on modern systems. The Collection of Saga, which is those 3 Game Boy games, is available on modern systems. And the remake of Romancing Saga for the PS2 is also on modern systems, they've remastered it. So if you're interested, they're available for you to check out. A little bit about 4, quarter of the way through 5. You know Final Fantasy 6, excellent. 5, I think the best way to experience 5 is to experiment. 5 is exactly the kind of game that you would have wanted to have as a kid. That you could just spend hours upon hours upon hours experimenting, learning how all the jobs work, like what works best, what doesn't work, the best ways to break the game, because you would have figured that kind of thing out with the time you'd have. Like, 5 is great if you're willing to experiment. 5 is the last game in the main series with a job system, unfortunately. The next Final Fantasy game that would pop up with the job system was Tactics. Final Fantasy 4 is mostly straightforward. Trickiest bit to be aware of. When I first played it, there's a point where you have to go into a castle before you go into a cave, because you can't use any of your weapons in the cave. And I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a castle to go to. But if you get through that, the rest of the game's straightforward. Dressers are technically a job system, but I also wouldn't count 10-2 as part of the main series at that point. We count just the numbered games, and then anything else is a spin-off. In the same sense that, like, Crisis Core is a spin-off despite being Final Fantasy VII, or 13-2 or Lightning Returns are spin-offs and such. Tactics itself is a spin-off. Final Fantasy The Four Heroes of Light on DS used a job system that was kind of interesting. And then Square did Bravely Default, which was them taking the idea and doing more with it. Characters with their own skills that represent aspects of the job system. Although 6, 7, and 8 are all pretty much everybody can do everything, and there's a few unique abilities among them. 9 went back to the classic style of everybody has specific abilities and such. Oh, they are actual sequels and prequels. Just in my head, I count them as spin-offs from the main series. In that they're specifically connected to games from the main series, but they're not the main numbers, if you get what I mean. Biggs and Wedge only appear post 6. They first appear in 6 and then appear in the games afterwards. It's weird, some of the games that Square's chosen to expand with sequels, and then the ones that they've not expanded at all. Like, Final Fantasy IV getting a sequel's weird. 7 getting a sequel isn't. 10 isn't. 13, I guess, isn't. Alright, thanks for joining us, Icy. You take care of yourself, buddy. Have yourself a good shift, and enjoy the rest of the day. Well, we have to remember the after years, because Teak had to play through it all, for some reason. My favourite thing about the after years is that it's basically just Final Fantasy IV again. Like, it's so dumb. It's like, oh yeah, let's make a sequel, and it's going to be an episodic sequel released on WiiWare. And it's just FF4 again. Like, regardless of what you think of like Advent Children or Dirge of Cerberus or Crisis Core or 10-2 or 13-2 or Lightning Returns or whatever, at least they weren't the original games again. I mean, it's not really an out of left field decision if you consider the landscape it came out in. Square had already been doing strange things with Final Fantasy by that point anyway. 10-2 had happened, Final Fantasy Tactics had happened, Crystal Chronicles had happened. They'd been branching out into different genres with Final Fantasy for a while. And with Dirge of Cerberus, there was a sense to it because you were playing as a character, a pre-established character who used a gun. Crisis Core did come afterwards, yes. I still haven't played Dirge of Cerberus.
Mother, give me power!
Yeah. It's one of those games that's been like, yeah, we'll get around to it at some point, and we just haven't gone around to it. My original intention was to do the Final Fantasy VII sub-series in release order. So like we did 7, and then we're going to do a watch party for Advent Children, and then we're going to do Dirge of Cerberus, and then we were going to do Crisis Core, and then we were going to do FF7 Remake. No, because Before Crisis is a Japanese-only mobile game on Java phones, so there's not really any real way for me to play it. And also, Bane basically knows Before Crisis inside out, so anything relevant, like what happens to Cisne, could be discussed during Crisis Core. I will send it back to you.
Mother, give me power!
I remember playing through, Marble Zone from Sonic 1 on a Java phone. Like, weirdly, specifically Marble Zone, not even Green Hill Zone, specifically Marble Zone. I remember first hearing about Star Wars Republic Commando because it popped up on like, my phone internet at the time, which would have been like, God, I don't even know, like 3G maybe? I don't know, it popped up on something I had access to that I could download a trailer for it for £50. How you doing, Ben? Samsung Soul, God. But yeah, that was how I first heard about Star Wars Republic Commando. I didn't download the trailer because I did not have 50 pence to download the trailer on my phone. I eventually saw the trailer on an Xbox demo disc later. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever run away from you, Bane, but I don't think that's actually true. I feel like I probably have.
Mother, give me power!
I think it's close to dying. But yeah, I can't see us getting around to doing Dirge of Cerberus the year after the year of PlayStation. It's like, there's other stuff. Like Prince of Persia 2008. Link's the Time Sweeper, apparently, on my shelf. I'm more likely to do Angel of Darkness before I do Prince of Persia 3D.
Mother, give me power!
You want to talk about remakes being fucked? The Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. That Ubisoft has come out and said it is still being worked on and we just passed an important internal goal for it. And it's like, cool, but Pix though. Pixar, it didn't happen. And I'm still sat here like, I don't need a remake for Sands of Time. What I want is for the entire trilogy to be playable on modern systems. In a decent fashion, because the HD trilogy was a garbage-ass port. Also, stop selling the Sands of Time trilogy on PC when they don't work. Here's hoping. God damn it. Yeah. There is something funny about a Moogle calling you a bastard. Like, if you... The Prince of Persia Sands of Time HD trilogy was only released on PS3. Another crucifix. Benjamin, you're getting this crucifix on you. Beautiful. Yeah, the Sands of Time HD trilogy only released on PS3 for some reason. and has so many issues. The end is nay. It is nay. Yeah, had so many issues. The end is nay. Like, there's the usual... A lot of the HD version, a lot of the HD ports of games around that time had sound mixing issues. The Sands of Time trilogy has that a lot. Everything is echoey all the time for some reason. Which happens sometimes in the original game when it's appropriate. Like, sometimes the voices will echo, footsteps will echo in the original game when it's appropriate. In the HD version, all the time. Fun thing, because I bought the Sands of Time HD trilogy digitally, it was £4. And I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll buy these, £4, absolutely, for these 3 games. So I downloaded the Sands of Time, and I decided to play it while Warrior Within and Two Thrones downloaded in the background. And it turns out there's an issue in the Sands of Time where if you have anything downloaded in the background on your PS3, the game will freeze on the title screen. And if you pause whatever you download in the background and get past that, and then restart it, it will freeze randomly. Oh, there he is. It could have been. They may have run better, they may have run worse, because PS2 classics on PS3 were just as much of a mess. Albert, you old fart. It's been fun, but I'm here to kick you in the dick until you vomit blood. So, fun thing you should know, Albert, since the last time we met, I have gotten immeasurably stronger. Villain is the top hat. You know, there's a genuine bit of concern in my head that, like, you might not be joking. And kill literal gods, yeah. Well, I absorbed the god previously, it's just now that I can control it. Without deceit or defilement. But the minute you add a human element to it, you're going to have deceit and defilement. Of course it'll be fun. It's like, okay, seriously, you're sounding like a child now. Actually, the super boss is the top hat. Ah, I could believe it. Spell. Yeah. Play the Fear of God instead. He might have gone away with the box. Let's play Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. Righto. Nah, can you imagine? This is such a weird conversation. To be honest with you, every now and then I genuinely debate buying a DSi XL. so that I can have like original form factor DS with original size screen, with like original aspect ratio screens, just in a bigger format. Because like, I've got my new 3DS and my new 2DS XL and my DS Lite, but sometimes I'm like, what if I had like the DS Lite bigger, and that is basically the DSi XL. There's no point to it, but every now and then I debate like, what if I just got one and played it for a while?
What a thrill.
Well. Didn't we already see the Ark of the Covenant? Deadly Silence, Strange Gen, maybe a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh games. The World Championship games on DS were pretty good. Deadly Silence is solid. There are some pretty genuinely solid RPGs on DS. Castlevania games are all worth playing on DS. New Super Mario Bros. Is pretty fun. Mario Kart DS was a good Mario Kart. Got it back out of storage, that son of a bitch. I thought it was being examined by top men. And now I can't do my summons. You fucking prick. Yeah, Nightmare Troubadour, as far as I'm aware, was the last dedicated Dual Monsters Yu-Gi-Oh game. I've finished it numerous times. I've finished Order of Ecclesia once. I've finished Dawn of Sorrow numerous times. And you know what? Maybe now is a good time to go and do it. Then. Go do it, Flame. After the stream. Okay, so you're going to be needing pure support. I'm glad we got a third crucifix before this fight. You penis. I have a fascination with the design of Legacy of Darkness in Castlevania 64. Hey, how you doing, Ghost? Been a while since we've seen you in these parts. Yeah, everybody in the party is named after one of the mods. It began with Clemetta, because of course it did. Get some of this good healing. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for popping in, Ghost. What's he doing? Oh, come on. I just got the SP back. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Nothing else to say about that? Alright. Everybody push this right now. And put all that work into this to get the abomination form to not use it in this fight. It is an interesting game. Is it a good game? It's not an awful game. It is pretty interesting. And it turns out that I'm going to end up 100% in it after all the stuff that I've done. So take that however you will. It is certainly a game of all time. But no, it's pretty neat. It's got some issues that I will complain about and have complained about, but it's pretty interesting. And whatever problems it has don't hold it back over much from being genuinely worth playing, I think. But good luck finding this for a reasonable price. I'm currently emulating it, but I do own this physically. You can see the box on my Discord. Sorry's... Oof. The last time you played RE0, you knew it was bad. And I could see you struggling to enjoy it. Yeah, Kudelka was unfortunate. I wanted to enjoy Kudelka, but a lot of that was just... not fun to stream. It's probably fun to stream if you've got it memorized to the point where you can maybe speedrun it. You done goofed. Behold my abs. Code Veronica has its positive points. It has a lot of negative points as well. That's a 5-point hit. I mean, Code Veronica's overly long. It's excessive in its backtracking without enough points to move between, I guess. Everything's in a straight line in Code Veronica rather than being connected around a single hub. In RE1, it's the main hall. In RE2, it's the main hall. RE3 is also mostly a straight line, but it requires you to go one direction, and then the other, and then back again, and that's it. Some of the enemies in Code Veronica are just absolutely frustrating. The Bandersnatch is a problem. But the Bandersnatch is mostly a problem because of how late the game gives you a weapon to deal with it. Which is a grenade launch, which you can get earlier, but it's entirely possible to screw yourself out of getting the grenade launcher for a long time. It probably has the best soundtrack in the series. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that, Flame. Code Veronica has one of the worst cameras in the classic series. There are so many points where enemies are put just around corners, so you'll run into them before the camera twitches. In so many locations. I love the way Code Veronica looks. I really like its visual design. Final Elixir is bullshit. In the same way that Nosferatu is bullshit, because it wants to use the three, because it's running on Dreamcast, so it's rendered in 3D, it's not pre-rendered backgrounds, so they want to make use of that, so they have the sniper rifle and the linear launch with both with first-person aiming to really make use of it, and neither of them are properly designed. Like, the fact that you cannot see across the heliport to hit Nosferatu is a major design flaw. Story-wise, it's the only time I've been genuinely engrossed by an RE story. Like, genuinely wanting to know more and keep going to find out more. How you doing, Star? Yeah, the first Resident Evil game to use 3D background, like 3D rendered environments, would be Survivor. Survivor is fun. It's not great, but I think it's short enough. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's funny enough. Like, Survivor is trash, but it's trash that isn't going to really waste your time that much. You say cheesy voice acting, it has like the worst voice acting in the series. And it's the worst in a funny way. I want to play Time Splitters now. Vincent? This is your mother. Stop doing those evil things at Umbrella and come back home. And it's like, Like, what? Vincent's mother Scottish. Vincent's mother is a mystery, is what she is.
Mother, give me power!
Like, it's one of the dumbest things. My favourite thing about Resident Evil 0 is that the opening confirms that Survivor is canon. Like, they can't take that back. Yeah, the whole explanation of how the Mr. X tyrants are created is like, yeah, we have to harvest a specific hormone that is only produced in the brains of adolescent boys, and it's produced in larger quantities if they are terrified. So the leader of the Umbrella base on Sheena Island has the boys' skulls carved open while they are still conscious and feeling everything. And it's like, this might be the first time Ari's trying too hard. That seems broken. Let's make use of it. Christ, why did that go so fast? Yeah. Like, Survivor's fun enough, it doesn't outstay its welcome. Dead Aim was also kind of along those lines. Fun enough, didn't outstay its welcome. Just generally kind of ridiculous. These have definitely sped up now. I didn't say Gaiden, I said Dead Aim. Yeah, Dead Aim was pretty fun. The save theme's well regarded. I know people who have just openly said, like, save theme in Dead Aim's like the best. And it's like, eat a dick. My biggest problem, ultimately, with Gaiden is that it's really boring. Like, playthrough Gaiden is super boring.
Mother, give me power!
So that's why you just have the Super Mario World standard level theme just constantly playing in your head. This SP lowering nonsense is bothering me. Tries to reproduce the better Doom themes. All you're gonna get is either Sweet Dead Bunny Rabbit or fucking... I can never remember what the name of the original theme is that At Eternal's Gate is based on. You know, not At Doomsgate, that's C1M1. That's no, that's fucking Megalovania. Openings of Hell, thank you, Flame. Doing Megalovania instead of fucking at Doomsgate. The Doom 2 final boss theme. It's a good theme. Alright, thanks for stopping in, Ghost. You have yourself a good Thanksgiving. I should probably see you on Saturday. Eat it, you penis. Yeah, I know. But like timing should work out. I should be able to like be there on Saturday. Nice. 360. Oh, I wanted magic. God damn it. Imp songs, sword demons. You're not gonna count Sweet Dead Bunny Rabbit? I feel like there's a word I'm missing from that title. I will say, like, one thing I don't think we brought up last time when we talked about what PS1 games we're going to do next year. PlayStation Doom's definitely going to be in there, so like Doom and Doom 2. It's Ultimate Doom and Doom 2 will be in there. In their PlayStation incarnations, which is... it's fun. Yeah, PlayStation Doom is such a really... it's such a fun rearrangement of Doom and Doom 2. It's a mix of Doom... it's a mix of Ultimate Doom and Doom 2's levels. It's got my favorite... like, one of my favorite things about it is Doom 2 enemies in Doom. Which is such a good idea, and I wish there was an official, like, re-release later of the Ultimate Doom that did that, with, had like a difficulty mode that put Doom 2 monsters in Doom 1. Along with Doom 2 weapons. Lutonia. I am definitely not going to commit to the idea or possibility that I will play Plutonia on Final Doom on PlayStation. Because if I'm gonna do it, it's probably, I say probably, it's gonna be on PC. Like, absolutely is. Pain Elementals Ardix. I prefer Pain Elementals existing to them not, though. Just Doom 1 shows us what it's like when Pain Elementals don't exist, but Lost Souls do. And it's just not fun. If Lost Souls are specifically being spawned by Pain Elementals, then that's something to deal with. God damn. Oh, that's good damage. Yeah, but that's just how Plutonia worked. It knew exactly how to set up alert sounds and alert states for monsters to absolutely screw you. Like, that was genuinely designed brilliant. Give me a name. Boris. Boris the Blade? Is in Boris the... Give me a name. Boris. Boris the Blade? Is in Boris the Bullet Dodger? Why do they call him the Bullet Dodger? Because he dodges bullets heavy. That's 3 people. I'm sure it's 3 people. That is from Snatch, directed by Guy Ritchie. Absolutely worth watching. If you're going to watch one Guy Ritchie movie, it should be Snatch. Yep, genuinely fantastic movie. Bricktop's fucking brilliant. So I'll regularly just do the whole go put the kettle on Turkish, and Jason Statham does the that face he does when he's like, you fucking what? You want sugar with it? Nah, thanks, Turkish. I'm sweet enough. And it's like, what a fucking line. Nah, thanks, Turkish. I'm sweet enough. Clarence Bodica, honestly. I like if they're on their own, Clarence. If they're with their gangs, Clarence. Partly because Detroit was just an environment that allowed for much worse criminals. Like, we're talking about criminals that exist in a pastiche of London versus criminals that exist in a dystopia of Detroit.
Mother, give me power!
Yeah. The gang in RoboCop are genuinely great. Like, all of them are really good. Kurtwood Smith as Clarence Bodica, though, is just like just such little details and little ways that he says things and does stuff. Can you fly, Bobby? Bitches leave. Like, bitches leave is just a great line that needs to be said more. Ah, stream's dying. should be back now. There we go. Twitch does not want me when show has. Twitch does not want the bitches to leave. Bitches to leave. It's such a shame he came out in support of convicted rapist, Danny Masterson.
Mother, give me power!
That line's gonna be awful without context. Yeah, like, RoboCop, though, is just... It's genuinely really good in so many ways. Like, RoboCop is one of those movies that you can appreciate more and more every time you watch it. And there's not many movies that can do that. I've heard that, yes. Which is good, because I was interested in it anyway, being a fan of, like, OG RoboCop, and really enjoying the game that the developer made previously, Terminator Resistance. Which we did. Earlier this year, I think? Or last year? We did it at some point, and it was genuinely fantastic. Like, it wasn't fantastic, it was just really good, but if you were a fan of Terminator 1 and 2, it did what you wanted it to do so well.
Mother, give me power!
Also, like, genuinely great sound design. January or late December. It's almost dead. This is too soon. There's gonna be a second phase to this, I'm sure of it. This is too quickly for it to be dead. Nice! You have a date with God, there you go. That's what it's gonna be. So this is gonna be like fighting Shaft at the end of Symphony of the Night. And then it turns like, yeah, cool, but I already accomplished what I was setting out to do. Okay, now to give him the dragon. And then somebody in the chat asks what dragon is. We're not going anywhere until someone in chat asks what dragon is. Dragging these nuts across his face. God damn you. It's a funny thing that kind of exists between myself, Ghost, and sometimes Clem. The idea of teabagging all our enemies. And so whenever possible, I try to uphold that and teabag all the enemies that I can. Dude, at least let me save first. Yep, teabag them all. Going back if I lose. Yeah, fuck that. What's really weird about this entire scene is this is the only scene that we've had in the game where the backgrounds haven't been pre-rendered. So it's like, look at this effort in cinematography we could have had in the entire game. Yeah, to be fair, the build-up to this... In fact, the lead-up to this has been pretty clear. We knew that this was what Albert Simon was trying to summon to begin with. This is the opposite result of what Deploy was doing in Shanghai. Like, we knew this was the goal Albert Simon wanted. So let's see about your god versus mine.
I am the storm that
That's right. You sure you don't want to stick around for what I'm doing right here, Flame, that you will absolutely appreciate? Or, I don't know, take your phone into the bath so you can absolutely appreciate this? It's going to take me a minute, and you're absolutely going to appreciate it.
I'm the light bringer! I'm the fucking universe!
Bear with me a sec. Okay, and then here, isolate thoughts. That here, no. Yes. Boom. Next. Excellent. Feel free to add them whenever, man. And that takes care of that. And now we have the new sound alert, exclamation mark, God. Let's go, shall we? That could actually be true, you don't know. That was underwhelming. That's a good one. Some of these are interesting, but they've got to be used by the specific person that you're looking for. Yeah, no, they're all good, Ben. Thank you. Let's get some of this done, shall we? Such a weird attack to attack and also heal. Alright. I wonder if that would stack. Motherfucker. I will say this though, was a good job. Jesus looked like his mum. Okay, throw you there. It was a biblical joke. Oh, it was a good job Jesus looked like his mum. Alright. Let me just set this up. Go. Let's see how all this works. I think it was the specific misstep spelling of it as is. Like, that's what threw me. I was like, I will say this though was a good job Jesus looked like. I was like, what? Meta God. Alright, so let's keep pushing this. I boosted the size of the hit areas though, because doing the stat buff made everyone's indicator move faster. And then it's just like, yeah, no, you're not allowed to have the stat buff though. And it's like, what a dick. I don't like typing on phones in general. Like, if I can avoid it, I absolutely will. Awful. Oh, come on. They're so rare, and they don't last the length of an entire battle. Bullshit. Bullshit. Let's fuck him up. I can't believe there wasn't a point to just buy the pure extracts. Stream's dying again, which is always fun. Alright, we're back again. God damn it. Yeah, the stream just died. Internet's being a dick. So it's not doing much damage. The problem is that he's doing attacks that deal MP and SP damage. And dealing with that's just an issue. Cool, do the full heal. But yeah, I was saying, like, I don't like typing on phones in general. It always feels like whenever you type out anything, it takes way longer than just typing on a keyboard. Plus, autocorrect is just as much of a problem as it is a help. Can't believe these items that are super, like, they're so rare that I found like 2 of them in the game don't even last the length of the entire battle. Like, that's lame. Yeah, predicted text autocorrect when you've spelt something absolutely right. Alright. Guess now we just start hitting it with the big stuff. We tried to do it fancy, didn't work, so we're just gonna hit it with the big stuff now.
Give me power!
That wasn't too bad. I don't like doing that attack. Like, it's decent damage, and the healing on top is really good, but it's 6 checks, and if you miss one of them, you don't get the attack. And that is such a pain to constantly do.
Mother, give me power!
Alright. It is really a good thing that I spent all that money on the MP and SP restoration items. Yes, I started playing Spider-Man 2 yesterday. There we go. And, like, spending a little more extended time with the PS5 controller. Previously, I didn't like the PS5 controller. Whenever I've used it, I've thought it's not a great controller. It's not super comfortable. The buttons, and especially the D-pad, don't feel great. Spending a lot more time with it, I feel validated in that opinion. Also, the whole thing with the triggers being... like, having a thing where they'll be harder to pull under specific circumstances in games. It's a nice idea. How long before that ruins the triggers, though, is my concern, and these controllers are absolutely not going to be cheap to replace. Initial thoughts on the game, mostly that it's more Spider-Man. That's kind of it. There's new things, there's new ideas going on, new villains, that weren't in the previous game, new abilities, the web wings, which they showed off in the trailers, the ability to switch between Peter and Miles. And nice ideas. There's a couple of new mechanics. There's a parry mechanic that I'm not super fond of. I don't know if I'll get used to it or not. But really, it's more Spider-Man. If you liked PS4 Spider-Man, you'll probably like this. If you didn't, I don't think this would change your mind. But I finished installing all of my discs today. And it's frustrating because, like, the PS5's all like, yeah, the box says 825 gig, and I was like, oh, they're not saying a terabyte? Maybe they're not listed as a terabyte because whenever anything is listed as a terabyte, it's not actually a terabyte. There's always space taken up that you can't use. So it's like, maybe 825 gig is them saying a terabyte, but this is how much you actually have. No, it's an 825 gig SSD, so you actually have about 600 gig. And the games are huge, and even owning them on disc, they will install the entire game off the disc onto the SSD. So putting Spider-Man 2 in, and it's like, cool, we're copying 100 gig to the SSD. And it's like, Christ. Owning a disc has so little value over digital anymore, when you can't put a disc in and play it immediately. Not because it has to download updates or anything, but because the disc has to be completely copied. Some of the discs I put in, the updates downloaded faster than the copying the discs to the SSD. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not a lot. A terabyte wouldn't have been enough, I don't think. And the push for solid-state drives to make loading times faster, I get that, but you're also increasing costs while reducing storage because of that. And there's not a good way to supplement it. On the PS4 and the Xbox One, you could get an external hard drive, which I did for both of them. For the Xbox, it was basically a mandatory thing, because my Xbox is 500 gig. I couldn't install all my discs for the Xbox. You can't do that with the PS5. You can store games on an external hard drive, but if you want to play them, you have to transfer them back to the SSD. Fortunately, you can still play PS4 games off an external hard drive, so I've just taken the external off my PS4 and plugged it into the PS5. It's like, great, there's all my PS4 games, I don't have to re-download them or anything. That's nice. But storage was absolutely my big concern when this generation was first announced, and we're 3 years into it, and that concern has not been addressed at all. I think the only thing they've really done, Microsoft put out an expansion thing like an expansion card you can plug into the back of your Xbox Series. But that's a proprietary little SSD. So it's like 80 gig for another terabyte. It's like, that's not a solution. That's a bottlenecking cost. And it's like, thank God I don't play stuff like Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 comes out, and it's like... what was it, over 250 gig? Again? Yeah, the external hard drive is very convenient. Especially because when I first got my PS4, like, my internet was not in a good place. It's better now, but even still, like, I don't want to have to spend hours regularly downloading stuff. And it didn't help with the PS4 and the PS3 to an extent that their download speeds were so slow to begin with. Even with a good connection, the PS4 doesn't have a great download speed. See, I think, like, my intention with the PS5 is entirely upgrade from the PS4. So I can play all the PS4 stuff on PS5. I've gone through my entire library, and the only thing of any note that I can't play from PS4 on PS5 is the episode Duske demo from Final Fantasy 15, which I was planning to do. When I got to FF15, so I was planning to do all of FF15. I don't know when that's going to be now, so I don't know. Dragon Guard 3, can download it, yeah. Especially because the PS3 doesn't have like a rest mode or anything. You want to download anything on the PS3, it has to stay on. It's like, you're leaving the PS3 on overnight. And I'm at the point now where I've got pretty much everything I want on PS3 that isn't physical downloaded to the PS3. I got the 500 gig Super Slim, specifically because it was bigger storage. So I got that. Pretty much everything that I have, or I have best on PS3, is downloaded to that system. Fucking Christ. Which does include Dragon Guard 3, actually, because I went and just bought Dragon Guard 3. I grabbed it off the PlayStation Store, got all the DLC for it, because it was like the only PS3 game I could think of that was like, I do want this, and I don't already have it. So I've got it, it's there, it's got all the DLC. I don't know when or if I'll ever actually do anything with it. The intent with stuff like Dragon Guard is stream. But with how much I want to stream and how irregularly I stream currently, Yeah, I was considering what to get for it. I ended up getting 5 games that are PlayStation exclusive that I don't have already, on anything else. It's just like, I got Ghost of Tsushima, I don't already own that on PS4. I got Spider-Man 2, exclusive to PS5. I got God of War Ragnarok, I don't own it on PS4. I got the Demon Souls remake, which is exclusive to PS5, and I got FF16, which is currently exclusive to PS5. And like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like going through the. I do own the original Demon Souls, yeah. Yeah, I do own the original Demon Souls. That is digital on PS3, actually. Like, the remake's supposed to be enough of its own thing, I guess? I don't know. This is going to be SP, isn't it? No, that one's just damage. Alright. Including boss AIs. The only time I ever played the original Demon Souls was when a friend lent it to me back in our old workplace. Like, that long ago. At this point, probably over 10 years ago. And I've owned it myself for several years, and I haven't played it since owning it.
Mother, give me power!
You still want to play it? Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I'll stream it. Like I said on the Discord, because I think Flame asked if I was going to stream any of the stuff, and currently my thought is like I'm probably not going to stream any of it for my first playthrough. If I do, Demon Souls is probably the most likely thing, though. Though that comes with its own problems, tied with my previous exasperations of playing Souls games. Let's God of War Ragnarok. To feel like I'm in a place where I can reasonably stream God of War Ragnarok, I would have to stream at least 4 of the God of War games first. OG God of War 2, God of War 3, Dad of Boy, and then God of War Ragnarok. But that's also overlooking Chains of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta, and Ascension. I could probably happily ignore Ascension. I don't honestly care. After Demon Souls, like FF16 is probably the most likely one for me to stream for a first-time playthrough, but that is pretty unlikely. Alright, if you could get close to dying now, I'd appreciate it. I'm kind of bored.
Mother, give me power.
God of War existed largely just to show off what the PS2 could actually do, because, like, oh, there we go, it looks like it's getting close to dying. It's like, the PS2 was not a powerhouse, but God of War looked great on PS2, and God of War 2 looked better, and God of War 3 did really well at showing off what the PS3 could do, while all of them being solid action games. By the time of, like, especially God of War Ascension, it was tiresome because those God of War games all feel mostly the same, like the same game. But I'd played God of War games back in the day. I picked up God of War 2 on the PS2, I played God of War 3 on PS3. I, to this day, have still never played God of War 1. But like, going from that, I've also done Chains of Olympus. I've not done God of War 1. Going from that into Dad of Boy was fun. Because Dad of Boy, doing the previous God of War games meant that, like, it led Dad of Boy to feeling more substantial. You can probably play Dad of Boy without playing previous games, but there's more, I guess, emotional investment in Kratos' growth as a character in Dad of Boy. If you've seen the absolute psychopath that he used to be. I don't know. Maybe? But Dad of Boy played well. It played differently. The combat was different. It was much more narratively focused, with a solid narrative that I enjoyed going through. I liked the way the Leviathan axe worked. Of, you could use it as a melee weapon, you could use it as a throwing weapon, and you had a button that was very specifically bound to pulling the axe back to you after you'd thrown it, and doing that in combat was really fun. It wasn't even context sensitive. If you threw the axe could have just left your hand, you could press the button, it would come straight back. And that made combat really more fun than it should have. Like, that one little detail added what felt like a bunch of variety to combat, in the way you could approach combat. And it was fun, it was good. And like I say, the narrative of it was really solid.
Mother, give me power.
Yeah. I bought Dad of Boy again on PC with the intention of doing it at some point. It's a really fun mod that I saw a while back that replaces Kratos and Atreus with Bart and Homer Simpson, but also takes lines from The Simpsons to replace the Kratos and Atreus lines. And from what I'm aware, it goes through the full game. and they replaced all the dialogue with Homer and Bart lines from just across the series. Which is ridiculous and funny to me. Yeah, classic God of War, fun enough action games that stood out at the time for being visual showcases on PS2, which was a system that didn't really do that. And also the maturity. Blood, violence, swearing, and what was uncommon for the time, breasts and sex. There was a sex minigame in every God of War. Not in Dad of Boy, though. So that got it some attention as well. At their core, they are the classic style ones are functional action games.
Mother, give me power!
What else is there? But yeah, FF16. I watched Clem play some of FF16. And I imagine the combat is probably fun in that game. I know the combat got a lot of praise when it came out. Watching Clem play it, the whole thing looked a lot like just Monster Hunter. Oh, he's dead. See how well that works out eventually, but, you know. Yep, it's the last fight, no point in messing around.
Mother, give me power!
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok's probably the game I'm most interested in playing after Spider-Man 2. I want to see where the narrative goes from the ending of Dad of Boy. So, like, take that for what it's worth. How this doesn't kill us? Oh, good. This SP thing, like the boss having an attack that reduces the SP, is not nice. It's unpleasant. It's a dick move. Especially because it guarantees that SP management is going to be a problem in this fight, regardless of how much SP any character has.
Success!
And so, our battle came to an end. The god, awakened by human hands, was returned to sleep once again by human hands. On the morning after, a refreshing breeze blew across Wales, and the horrible events leading up to yesterday seemed like nothing more than a bad dream. Soon, it was time to say farewell to everyone. Keith, our handsome vampire, grew weary of the hustle and bustle of the outside world, and so he returned once again to his peaceful castle in Transylvania. I wonder how many centuries he'll sleep this time. Good night, and sweet dreams, dear friend. Master Zhuzhen, our brave Taoist adept, has gone back to Shanghai to mend the disruptions in the energy fields of China. You taught us so much, Master Zhuzhen. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and please, try not to overexert yourself. Our beloved spy for hire said she planned to go home to Paris, but she joked about how her next assignment was probably already waiting for her. So, there's no telling where she might be right now. Hallie, that cute little street boy we met in London, set sail from Southampton with his mother, Kodelka, to find his long-lost father in America. Finally, they'll be able to live together as a family. I pray you'll all find happiness. As for me, I'm headed for Zurich, where my mother's waiting. With Yuri, of course.
Why have the option of naming your characters if you have voiced cutscenes that will just ignore those names? Like, I'd forgotten how dumb it was that the name of the vampire was Keith. Thank you, man. Alright, Shadow Hearts. Who knows when we'll get to Shadow Hearts Covenant. But I will say, like, after this, we'll get to Shadow Hearts Covenant. Undoubtedly. Interesting game. Rough. Definitely rough around the edges. The Judgment Ring system is just frustrating. The fact that it's everywhere in the game is just not fun. The voice acting is terrible. The SP system feels designed specifically to frustrate. It's got some good monster designs, like genuinely horrific monsters. I really like that. It's so weirdly localized, and the main character is such an oddball in terms of a JRPG protagonist. I'd give this like a 7 out of 10. If I gave scores, I'd give this like a 7 out of 10. And like preface with like an interesting 7 out of 10. A game that's probably worth playing, just be ready for a little bit of that weirdness in game mechanics and design. I'm glad I played Kudelka first, even if the connections were not much. And Kudelka felt like an entirely different character here. It is weird they chose to go for the, like, continue on from the grind, the bad ending of Kudelka. Because it really doesn't feel like it would have made much difference. Yeah, that's definitely a point in its favour. Like, there was so little required grinding. I don't think I was ever grinding at any point. We got through the game on the battles that we found. And the only battles I generally ran away from were the back attacks. Hey, did we ever find out who owns Shadow Hearts currently? Because I remember it was a regular topic of discussion we used to have. Because Aruse doesn't exist anymore, Midway doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, the lack of grinding is definitely like a positive in its favour. Company that no longer develops games, right? It does still exist. Ruse still exists. Wait, wasn't that a thing of... You know what, thinking back, I feel like I recall it was supposed to be... The thought is that they're defunct, but there's never been an official word on it. They just haven't developed anything since like 2013. I think they're sleeping still. They had a long game. But yeah, this was a weird game. Like, voice acting, such a weird half-assed thing. Sometimes they would voice attacks in English. A lot of the time they'd just be in Japanese. So characters could have different voices depending on what attack they were doing. Absorbed as a subsidiary of a large company and dormant rather than officially defunct. Right. Maybe this will get a re-release sometime. We're definitely in an era of never say never. With stuff like Bait and Kaitos getting a remaster.
As the warlock said in the end, even if an age of winter comes bringing the harshest hardships, I intend to live on with my new family.
As the warlock said as he lay there dying, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. The game ends saying, yeah, and then World War One happened. Got the good ending, which is not canon. God damn it, what is with this series? Alright, locking it up. Oh, there we go. There, daytime. Alright, the two endings to Shadow Heart's good and the bad ending. Offering her soul in exchange for Yuri's, Alice falls under the four mass curse as the god of death. Ant-Man comes from the soul and a dream before the group leaves in Niamito. The good ending can be unlocked by a side quest before triggering this event in which Yuri defeats the four masks. If the requirements have been met, Yuri forces his way into Alice's dream, defeats Atman alongside her, disrupting Atman's ritual. Otherwise, Atman defeats Alice in an impossible battle, claiming her soul. Subsequently, Alice begins suffering bouts of weakening as the group ascends the float. The difference between the two endings only seen in the game credits are rolling. After one has completed the game, Alice and Yuri are sleeping on a train back to her hometown, Zurich. In the good ending, Alice wakes up on the train after a while, ready to embark on a new life with Yuri by her side. In the bad ending, Alice does not wake up since she sacrificed her soul to Atman to protect Yuri's life, and Yuri laments her death as he swears to continue living for her sake. Shadow Heart's Covenant, Shadow Heart's sequel, follows the bad ending in this game. However, the good ending of this game follows the good ending of Shadow Heart's Covenant. Fucking time travel. Well, now I've not played this for long enough that I forget what any of that was. Shadow Hearts. That's going to be important to remember when we eventually get to Shadow Hearts 2. That Alice is dead. I'm glad we managed to get, like, both get the good ending. The game outlines it from the very beginning. Yeah, I am glad that we managed to get the good ending, and 100% it, though. Like, that's good. Yes. I don't know when we'll get to Shadow Hearts 2. But I am interested to do it. But going forward from here, we're going to be returning to Crisis Core and Final Fantasy IX. And also Wolfenstein: The New Order at some point, which I also need to finish. And hopefully look at getting those done before the end of the year. I need to knuckle down with the streaming. Really push those. FF9 shouldn't be a huge amount of time. Because it's not a super long game. It's really just about keep going forward with it. The biggest issue with Crisis Core, I'm probably just going to drop the missions, because it's absurd how many there are, and they're so boring. Yeah, so we just get past the Angeal fight and the rest of the game's mostly a cakewalk. But it should be doable for us to finish those 3 before the end of the year, as long as I like knuckle down with the stream and actually keep streaming. So look forward to that, and then next year we have the year of PlayStation. So I hope everybody has enjoyed Shadow Hearts. It's nice to get back to the old idea of doing weird and less common stuff, which we used to do a little more often. Sometimes you find something of genuine interest. But anyway, that's going to do it for us for today. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Bane, Flame, Lim, Icy, Teak, Star, Ghost. Thank you all so much for joining me and keeping company. Chat is always the best part of the stream. With any luck, we'll be back on Sunday. Absolutely, old school turn-based JRPGs. The PS2 is such a wonderful haven for them. And having gotten into the PS2 late, like there's so many there that I've not done that are absolutely worth doing. It's nice to see the genre is getting more love again. But expect to see more old school turn-based RPGs next year. There's like we talk about the ones that I definitely want to do next year. Like I want to get Luna Silver Star Story complete done. Want to actually do that on stream properly, or just at all. Breath of Fire 3 I want to do. Wild Arms. Suikoden. I'm trying to think of stuff, and all that keeps popping into my head is fucking Tales, and that's not turn-based. Shin Megami Tensei. Possibly the original Persona, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of good old-school turn-based RPGs there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So... like I say, with any luck, back on Sunday. But in the meantime, there's not really anything else to say except thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and take care. Catch you next time, guys. Bye.
You are lost beyond all hope. You cannot see my plight, for you have so shut your eyes. What will become of our love? I see only damnation.